America's highest crime city isn't Detroit, Baltimore, or Chicago. It's Albuquerque, New Mexico, where residents have a nearly 10% chance of becoming a crime victim in a given year. In this video, we explore why this is,
November to December, I probably overdosed myself 4 times.
Ride along with the sheriff, and then visit Albuquerque's nicest neighborhood to show the other side. But first, we start in the war zone.
They used to call it the war zone, I call it Zombieland.
LA has Skid Row, Philadelphia has Kensington, and Albuquerque has the war zone, an open-air drug market where people live in tents and openly take fentanyl. What are the drugs that you see?
Fentanyl and meth would probably be the 2 biggest.
People die from overdoses a lot?
Kinda. We try to do our best to make sure that don't happen. I try to keep an Narcan close by.
You know, they're saying Trump's gonna stop the fentanyl. He's not gonna stop the fentanyl, brother.
It wasn't always this way. This area was near an Air Force base and factories that once provided working class jobs. It also sat on Route 66, a major tourist destination. By the 80s, though, a highway had replaced Route 66 and manufacturing had declined. Soaring crime in this part of southeastern Albuquerque earned it a nickname, the War Zone.
Somebody's always getting shot. Somebody's always going down.
Today, the hotels that once sat along Route 66 are either abandoned or used as brothels or for drugs. Everywhere, people are on fentanyl.
Me and my mom, we move around.
You're out here with your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're like a tent in here and stuff?
Blankets.
Blankets.
Yeah.
How long have you been out here?
3 years.
And can I ask why you ended up living here?
Just poor choices, I guess. Got carried away drinking. Ended up losing my jobs and then my apartment. And now I'm just out here trying to make it back.
Is there help for you?
They're there, but if you don't try to go do it, then no one's actually gonna help.
One thing we've heard is that it's particularly dangerous out here for women.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What can you do to stay safe? What do you have to watch out for?
Try not to keep weapons around you.
Because a lot of people just, they end up out here on the street and stuff. They just give up being civilized. That's largely how I put it. They forget how to be a civilized person. And that's what really creates a lot of shit, because when, people are like, well, fuck it. They see a small group of people doing that, they're like, oh, well, why not, They just jump on the bandwagon, and it just snowballs from there. Almost everybody's just doing whatever, literally taking shits all over the place. Forget how to treat people. People giving up.
Overdoses are a constant fact of life on the streets here.
I've overdosed recently probably 4 times from November to December. I probably overdosed myself 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
When you overdose, what happens?
For me, it just feels like I'm sleeping when I go to sleep, which basically happens when you pass out from the high, and then I just stop breathing. But thankfully I had people around Narcan me and throw some water, get cold as hell. But I thank the Lord for, that at least somebody being there for me to bring me back.
Wow.
And for me, I've brought back a couple people myself with the Narcan, and it's a little traumatizing, but the lifestyle that we live, it's almost an everyday type of thing, helping somebody back to life.
The crime has destroyed a neighborhood that is still home to many working class families, and they are not happy about the situation. Do you feel at all abandoned?
Oh yes, completely. It's like we don't have a voice. It's not that we don't have compassion, but it's like we can't even walk with our kids and anything like that, because they're just drugging themselves. They have so much trash. They block the road, so it's just bad. Some of these people are even having sex. Yes, you can actually walk, and sometimes you are able to see. As you can see, it's all fenced.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are putting up their fence up because there's so many homeless, walking drug addicts and all that. And then sometimes I feel that because we're low income, it's like they push everything over here. You see a lot of young people, and you can tell many of these young people are not residents of New Mexico. We've been living in this neighborhood for the past 35 years, and it has not been as bad as this.
I think it was in July. I don't know if the governor had, the governess had an incentive to make the cops could patrol this area a little bit more. You know, they only do that for like, 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's right back to business, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much hear gunshots on a daily basis. The last 3 weeks, they've been getting worse. It sounded like kind of like semi-automatic machine guns.
It's my mom's house, and we got lucky enough to get a house next to her, but we're trying to look to get out of this neighborhood just because stuff like this, as you can see, like right next door, you got people coming in and out. We rarely see who they are, because there's always someone new. We have like drive-bys. Like one of our vehicles got shot, so we had to trade it in because.
Right here.
Yeah, right here. It was parked right here.
The sidewalks and streets are lined with burn marks from people lighting fires to either stay warm or take drugs. At night, it's like a drug-fueled campfire up and down the blocks. The sheriff's deputy, who we rode along with, said fires often burn out of control.
Just right behind, and you can see like all the tents and everything just behind the business.
Lighting fires, smoke, they're lighting fires to stay warm mainly.
Biggest one is to stay warm during this time of year. We definitely have a rise in like the dumpster fires or like things catching fire. What they don't realize is, yeah, you might think that your fire's nice and contained in this little spot, but the embers fly, and I mean, they go places.
Now, like Albuquerque, New Mexico is a predominantly Democratic state, but that may soon change. In 2026, New Mexico will replace Michelle Grisham as governor, and according to Kalshi, the sponsor for this video, a Republican has a 20% chance to win. We're honestly surprised it's so low, given that New Mexico moved right in this past presidential election, and it's recently had two-term Republican governors, including Gary Johnson. Now, we check Kalshi to gauge real-world events because it's much more accurate than polls. As they say, money talks, and Kalshi is the U.S. first and only legal prediction market for real-world events. You can bet on everything from New Mexico's governor race and the winner of March Madness to weather, inflation, and so much more. Get $20 for free after betting $100 with promo code ROCA, R-O-C-A, or our link in the description below. Thank you to Kalshi for sponsoring this video, and we highly recommend checking them out. Now, back to the video. The city has taken some steps to improve the war zone, but locals say they haven't worked. One move was to rebrand it to the International District, but everyone told us no one uses that term. Another was to put up mini homes for homeless people, but locals told us no one uses those either.
If you go around the corner, you can see these tiny homes that were built for the homeless. And the mayor, I don't know how much he spent on that. There's no homeless people living in them. All the wires are all ripped out of them. They took the copper out, and they're just sitting there.
The city also sends in people to clean up the streets, but the people who live on those streets told us they just move their belongings when the cleaners come, then move back when they leave.
So the city just comes?
Yeah, the city gives you a work order, and to let you know that they're going to be here in an hour or two to come and take everything. If you're not there, they'll take everything and throw it. If not, you need to remove it. They take the picture showing that they were there and they clean it up, and then people move everything back on.
So is that what he's doing down there? He's moving his tent.
But those guys are really cool. They've been really cool.
So they come and clean up.
Yeah, they're not heartless and stuff, and they don't just throw your stuff away and all that. They give you a chance to clear everything out. They're just doing their job. So I don't really have a problem with them personally.
Do other people?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your name, by the way, man?
I'm Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
I'm Max.
Okay,
nice to meet you. Where are you from? Albuquerque?
Yeah.
I'm a journalist. I'm making a video about this part of the city. Yeah. Well, what are you guys doing right now?
Well, honestly, bro, we're just cleaning up. That's about it.
So what's going on right now?
They're just picking up the trash.
They let you know when they're coming, or how's it work?
They're actually pretty cool. Yeah. There'll be a car that comes by, give us the notice to move, and then about an hour or so later, these guys will show up and start picking up the trash. And
okay. So you guys move across the street here?
Yeah. If it's open or available, we'll move across the street.
A lot of people blame the city and state's leadership, which is overwhelmingly Democratic.
People come from LA and transplant to New Mexico because the laws are lax. They can literally get away with murder, do 4 years, and be back out on the street. I know because I grew up in a family of gangsters and cholos and drug dealers.
Yeah, I've noticed. I mean, there's an abandoned CVS up there, abandoned buildings all over.
A lot of them had to move out during the pandemic because of vandalism and theft. I mean, they put Band-Aids on it, but it doesn't do anything permanently, you know what I'm saying, bro? Helped a lot of homeless people get off the streets, and a lot of them don't want to get off the streets. 60 to 70% don't want to get off the streets, and I'll tell you why, because they say, well, it's freedom to me, and a lot of them, a big percentage of them get SSDI checks. You know what I'm saying? So they're getting government money to live on the streets, and they have no obligation to get a place, take a drug test, none of that stuff. And what happens is they get real comfortable, you know what I'm saying? They say, oh, well, it's freedom to me because I don't have to pay rent, I don't have to pay bills. It's basically lawlessness, bro.
You know, they're corrupt up there in Santa Fe. And this has always been a democratic state, and they don't do anything to improve it. The governor in Santa Fe, Grisham, she doesn't do anything about it, you know. But yet she wants to spend more and more money to try to reform these homeless people for mental health and stuff, like $18 million more out of the legislature, and that's not going to help. It's sad to see, because I've never seen it this bad at all, and I am a native born and raised here in Albuquerque. And
numerous people couldn't understand why the authorities wouldn't come in and arrest everyone who is openly violating the law.
Get these people the proper help, or take them off the street and build them an intern camp or some kind of a camp outside the city limits so they can have, you know, care and everything else till they can be let back on the streets, because it's ridiculous.
Given that lawlessness, some people, like this man, have taken their safety into their own hands. Now, if you're enjoying this video, smash that subscribe button. We have some great new videos coming out soon, including from Pakistan, our first international trip. We think you'll love it. Make sure to subscribe. Albuquerque's position at the intersection of smuggling routes from Mexico, plus high rates of property crime, homelessness, and fentanyl abuse have made it America's most crime-ridden city. It records around 9,000 crimes per 100,000 residents, more than 50% higher than high-crime cities like New Orleans or Washington, D.C. To learn more about law enforcement's response, we rode along with Sergeant Connor Otero in Bernalillo County's Southern District, which includes the war zone.
Gang activity common here?
Yes, we do have quite a large and diverse gang population. Our biggest problem is juvenile gangs. That and probably outlaw motorcycle gangs. So
really?
We have, yes.
That's a thing.
Yes, so like the Banditos, they are an outlaw motorcycle gang.
Outlaw motorcycle gang, what do they do that makes them outlaws?
Theft, narcotics.
It's worth noting that Albuquerque's murder rate isn't that high. It ranks 37th in the country. However, its rates of property crime and robbery are through the roof. Otero said that car theft is one of the biggest issues.
A couple guys working on recovering 3 to 4 stolen cars out of there right now. We commonly see them being recovered, or we find them abandoned.
This is the kind of place where people can, say, drop a car off, or...
Yeah.
Bernalillo County is huge and relatively sparsely populated, giving criminals lots of places to hide out. Otero took us to one unincorporated area 10 miles from downtown where people strip stolen cars.
A lot of people come out here and they'll shoot guns illegally and do things like that, which, unlike New York and things like that, they can come out here, do whatever they want to do, stripping a car apart. Because this is a lot of litter trash, obviously just the tires and things like that.
It's worth noting that parts of Albuquerque are great. It's surrounded by mountains, which are lined with beautiful neighborhoods that look down into the city. Yet it's undeniably high crime, and after a decades-long battle for safety and the war zone, a ceasefire isn't on the horizon. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. We have a new series coming out soon from Pakistan, which you won't want to miss. Subscribe, and thank you for watching.